Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, yes, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you Spidey Classics, episode number 15. And guys, today's book has to do with Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 132. That's right, guys. This is the conclusion to Kravens, The Last Hunt. That's right, fans. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Spidey Classics, this is the video series where I talk about all the classic series or classic books of our favorite webhead or web slinger. That's right, guys. Especially if you fans are not keen on what's going on with the all new, all different Marvel and current stories with Dan Slott. At least this gives you a chance to remember those old days of good old Peter Parker. Now, the story was written by J.M. DeMatteis and the penciler is Mike Zeck. They've done this artwork and this story all the way through the different series of Spider-Man, whether it was Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. And again, this is the conclusion. Cool cover here of Vermin and Spider-Man in the black costume doing battle against him. This is a really awesome artwork. It's very dark, as the series has proven throughout. This is not your typical happy-go-lucky Peter Parker. He's going through some psychological shit in this particular issue. Great paneling. Love everything that happens in this issue, and I'll explain to you what Peter is going through throughout this issue. You get to see cool fighting scenes between Vermin and Spidey in this particular issue, and yeah, so it's got good detail and I really like it. And then there's this one nice page in here where Peter and Mary Jane are back together again at the end of this issue, and it's just a beautiful image of those two. It's just like classic Spider-Man there. So the artwork was good. What did I think about the conclusion to this story, and does it hold up? Alright, so if you read the last issue, or if you watched Spidey Classics, the last episode, episode 15 or 14, we learned that Kraven has truly done everything that he could. He's been the Spider. In many ways, he thinks he's like his mom, and his mom was kind of cuckoo, and in the end, he winds up taking his life. So what happens in the beginning of this issue is now Spider-Man has to tie up some loose ends. And what he has to do is he has to go after Vermin, because Vermin is on the loose, and he feels that he shouldn't be. He's going to take lives, and he really can't be out there, so he has to stop him. But while he's stopping him or going into the sewers, you see Spider-Man have these flashbacks of him being dead and having him being very fearful of what was going on. And he kind of constantly thinks that he's in a state of false reality. Like, he feels like that he's dead. He's not sure if he's alive. He's having all these flashbacks of him being under the ground. So you can see that in this issue that is really taking the psychological effect of him, because anything that he has to do with Vermin and being under the sewers or under the water or dealing with these rats reminds him of him being underground. So we constantly get to see that in this issue. We also get to see that when the cops appear in Kraven's apartment, we find out that there's a confession for the cops of that he framed Spider-Man. So this kind of lets all charges or anything that was against Peter towards the cops, it's kind of now on the table, and it's going to be released obviously to the press. Again, throughout this issue, you find out that Spider-Man is struggling against the battles against Vermin. We find out, of course, where Vermin came from, and he was an experiment, and he was once a man, and he was created by Zemo. So a lot of things going on in there. So what happens at the end of this issue is you kind of see that Spider-Man overcomes his fears, and he defeats Vermin at the end, and he brings him into the light, and the police arrest him. And at the same time, we wind up seeing that when the police come and arrest Vermin in here, we wind up seeing kind of like a backstory of what's happening to Kraven the Hunter. And so what happens at the end with him is that he winds up getting buried next to Spider-Man's old grave. So that was quite interesting too, how he was going to be buried right next to his arch nemesis. So that was cool. And then once Spider-Man does take care of Vermin and it's rescued, and you get to see the confession of Kraven in newsstands, everything is all well. The clouds you know, go away. There's no more rain, and for the first time in this series, everything is bright, everything is light, and we get to see happy times ahead for Peter Parker. And of course, the first thing that came to him, it was Mary Jane, and that's the first time you get to smile from Peter Parker in this entire series. So really cool conclusion to this. Even though it didn't have Kraven the Hunter in it, it was kind of some closure to see what happens, what they did with his body. You get to see the confession that he wrote for the police to clear Peter Parker's name. We get to see the silver lining at the end, that there's going to be happy times with Peter and Mary Jane. So it's a really just, you know, kind of tied up the whole series and had a lot of just a happy ending, and I really enjoyed it. So overall, this particular issue with its artwork, its ending, and its closure, I'm going to give this one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I think when it comes to Vermin, I think, you know, in many ways, it was like, okay, he's kind of a lesser known character, but I guess he had to kind of tie up those loose ends. But again, with Peter, you know, meeting up with Mary Jane, it was just that happy ending, and his name getting cleared just made it all that much more happier. So overall, this issue gets a 4.75 out of 5 stars. If you guys want to go out and check out this overall trade, I definitely recommend it. This is pretty close to a 5-star story, well ahead of its time, holds up solidly today. This trade itself is $15. You guys can get it at any of your local comic book stores or in Barnes & Nobles or Books A Million or anything like that. So definitely go check it out. It's been my pleasure reviewing Kraven's Last Hunt, and the next Spidey Classics review, we're going to go on to some new stories. So guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0, and this has been Spidey Classics, episode number 15. Take care, fans. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.